Hi everyone. So now we are going to discuss the state design pattern. So the state design pattern belongs to behavioral category of design patterns. So it's mainly involved with the interactions between the classes. So state design pattern is nothing but a pattern wherein we maintain the different states. Okay. So if you want to alter an object's behavior only when its state changes, state is the answer for you. So you have to ask question to yourself whenever you are designing the applications. The question is, are you planning to alter the object's behavior when its state changes? If your project goes through different states and if you want to change the object's behavior when its state changes, then state is the answer for you. Okay, so you need to use the state design pattern when object is always in one of the several known states. Now this known is a keyword here. Okay, suppose an object is always in one of the several states, then you can use state design pattern. The state an object is in determines the behavior of several methods. You could use if a case statements in each method. So in order to avoid if else statements or case statements in each method, the better solution is to use the state design pattern. So we use the state design pattern when object is always in one of the several known states. The state an object is in determines the behavior of several of its methods. So you could always use if else statements or switch case statements to handle the code which goes through different states. But the better solution is to use the state design pattern because it gets rid of all your if else statements and switch case statements. It gets rid of all your if else statements and the switch case statements, and state design pattern is the one that you need to use. It has a reference to the state object. Normally state object does not contain any fields. It does not contain any data members. Okay, and with a change in a state, you also change the behavior. So in this state diagram that I have here, there is a context which has a request method, and this invokes the handle of a state. Now there is a state in which there is a handle API. These are concrete state A, concrete state B. So whoever have seen about finite state automata in past, so this design pattern is exactly same as your finite state automatas, wherein you keep on changing between states when some event happens. So now this state here is an abstract class, and there is a concrete state inheriting from this, concrete state inheriting from this, and implementing handles. Now this is the context. When it requests something, it invokes the handle of the state. Okay, so this is an example diagram that I have shown here. So here I have a TCP connection. So different states with which it can go through is open a connection, close a connection, and acknowledge a connection. So in TCP state, it can be in the open state, it can be in a closed state, or you can acknowledge the state. So TCP state can be one of these three. It can be established. So TCP connection could be established. TCP connection could be in a listen mode, and TCP connection can be closed. Okay, so TCP connection can be established, TCP connection can be in listen mode, and TCP connection can be closed. So each of these state are having these behaviors. It is open, close, acknowledge, open, close, acknowledge, open, close, acknowledge. So when open function is called for a TCP connection, then we invoke the open API based on which state a current machine is. Okay, it calls the open using a state object, and state object will be one of these three. So it will call open of one of these states. So this is a very simple example that I have for you all on the state design pattern. So over here This is a very simple example of on off switch. The machine can be either on or it can be off. So I am having a state machine here wherein machine can be in on state or it can be off state. Okay. So there is a state class that I have defined wherein there are two functions which I have defined, on and off. So on function will print on the screen it's already on. Off function will print on the screen it's already off. And there are two classes that I am inheriting from state class. So class on I am inheriting from state, and if you notice here in the class on I am just overriding off. Since I am inheriting on class from state, I am going to get these two functions ready-made in this class, right? Class on I am inheriting from state, so these two functions I am going to get in here. But I am off function I am overriding. So in on class off function I am overriding. So if someone calls off function when the machine is in state on, that means I want to go from on to off state, right? When machine is in state on, if someone calls off function, that means I want to go from on to off. So I am printing on the screen, I am going from on to off, and I am setting the current state to off. Similarly, there is an off class which I am inheriting from state, and in off class I am overriding on. The reason being, when machine is in off state and if someone calls on function, that means I want to go from off state to on state. So I am printing on the screen saying I am going from off to on, and I am moving the state to on. I am moving the current state to on. So the reason I didn't implement on function in on class. Why? Why did I didn't override on function in on class? Because if the state is already on, and if someone calls on function in that state, it will print on the screen it's already on. Similarly, why did I didn't implement off function in off class? The reason I didn't implement off function in off class is because if someone calls off function when the machine is in state off, it will print on the screen machine is already off. So machine is already on and machine is already off. I am implementing in the base class, and I override off function in on class and on function is off class. Okay, and here I need not have to change the state also. That's why it is just a matter of printing. And in the main, what am I doing? Before going to main, let's check the machine class. Machine is having the current state the machine is in. In set current, whatever state that is passed, I am setting it to current data member. If someone calls on function, whatever is the current state, I call its on function. If someone calls off function, whatever is the current state, I call off function of the current state. And by default, in the constructor of machine, the current state is off state. I'll just explain this again. This is a machine which is having the current state, and in the constructor this current state is assigned to off state. There is also a set current function in which we pass the state from outside and set the current state to that state. If someone calls on function of the machine, I call on function of the current state. If someone calls off function of the machine, I call off function of the current state. So let's see what we do in the main function. In the main function, I have array of function pointers, where the first element is off state of the machine, second element is the on state of the machine. So then I'm printing on the screen saying enter 0 or 1 to the user. If user types 0, then I invoke machine's off function. If user types 1, I invoke machine's on function. So when I start the machine, what's the default state? Off state. So if user types 0, it will invoke off function of the machine. Since the current state is off, it will invoke off function of off class, which will print on the screen the machine is already off. Again, if user types 0, then I am going to call machine's off function. So machine's off function calls the current state's off function. What is the current state? Off. So it will call machine is already off. Now if user types 1, then I'm calling machine's on function. Machine's on function will call on function of offs class. So on function of offs class will print on the screen I'm going from off to on. Right? On function of off class will print on the screen I'm going from off to on, and I'm setting the current state to on now. So now the machine state, current state is on. If someone types in the next iteration 0, that means I'm calling machine's off function. So machine's off function will call off function of the current state. What's the current state now? Current state is on now. So it's calling off function of on class. So this will print I am going from on to off now, and it will set the current state to off now. Correct? So based on what user types in here, we go to the respective state. So that's all I had on the state design pattern. Thank you.